Samsun Zulu, Universal Zulu Nation.
Try my Wu-Tang style.
Yeah. This is the tribute. To the mighty Wu-Tang Clan. Peace out, salute to the Wu-Tang Clan.
Try my Wu-Tang style.
Yeah, I outlined it with an awesome literary, military masterpiece. Written by the strategic general Sun Tzu. What's his name, God? Sun Tzu. That piece is titled The Art of War. Amongst each of those 13 chapters of the book, I structured a song. Gave you physical, mental, and spiritual principles. I got a vibe to formulate this piece.
Try my Wu-Tang style.
Just want y'all to vibe, and enjoy this work. It's from the heart.
Try my Wu-Tang style.
Peace. Love.
The Art of War. Initial estimation.
First I'm forced to address your means of disrespect. You play checkers, the guard plays chess. I am wrecked for combat, come strapped to subtract. Prepare to consider the cost and counterattack. I tread on fake snakes, give devils the shakes. Lay plans in advance and be at your rest while you wait. Apply pressure to test you so I can see how you feel. Put you on notice how you and your man sleeping with the steel. I'm the general with the mental as complex as the vortex. My dialect erects one cerebral cortex. My verbals effects many ways through the maze. I'm phased. I bring sparks like gamma rays. The I wake in the days of the deaf, dumb, and blind. Every line is sublime.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers deep as Chinese math, it's built with my staff. Devise me a scheme to split your team in half. Divide and conquer, it's how we destroy packs. As we dwell where you rest, so you never relax. Maximize on your size, with the thoughts we devise. Pump lies to your camp with the help of spies. We amped up, you jammed up, overly stressed. 5 seconds to death, we never touch your flesh. It's mental, I'm sent to bring off your demise. And wise, and I can see the fear in your eyes. Samsun Shogun, I move with that weaponry. Mind sharp as a dart, built like G.O.D. Black Mom, peace, God, born to set my people free. Physical, mental, and spiritual makes 3 folds of a chord. I track with my squad. I can destroy and build without swinging a sword. Moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was moved out.
Wu-Tang style, they know I'm black.
Soldiers was
Sun Tzu said, "Warfare is the greatest affair of state, the basis of life and death, the way, Tao, to survival or extinction. It must be thoroughly pondered and analyzed. Therefore, structure it according to the following 5 factors. Evaluate it comparatively through estimations and seek out its true nature. The first is termed the Tao, the second, heaven, the third, earth, the fourth, generals, and the fifth, the laws for military organization and discipline." Waging war.
yeah, it's like I wage war with the blade of 44. Knock on your door, bring the brawl. Never wild as a boar. I move precise, take life, move nice. dwell in the heights. Catch you in the scope, shoot you straight through the pipe. Penetrate your gates, let your team run scared. So all that fucks with you know that war is when I declare war. I make it evident the God's mind is reverent. Count up the cost, no loss, my man benevolent. Stop like a soldier, hunt like a wolf pack. Dressed in all black, move right and exact. With the strap to attack, sever your vertebrae, brand your flesh. Say the gods must be great. I mobilize like Beyonce and Jay. $1 billion on your head, enough said, you're dead.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting
When I
stance too
declare
strategic.
war, I'm sure your team don't really want it, dude. It's business, not attitude, I'ma show and prove. Box you in, lock you down, and bust the move. See how you react when my man paints your fool. My heart pumps nitro, my voice is calm. I'm a warrior like King David when I'm singing a psalm. Cats be loud as a bomb, but dwell on one plane. Physical men treat life as a game. No mental, unable to speak, unable to teach. Therefore, winning the war is out of their reach. I'm deep as the leaves of the 7 seas. Roots of the trees, source of the north wind providing breeze. I think without a blink and never react. I subtract whack cats without the use of a gat. Sun test all theories at war and that's that. My mind is fully loaded and ready, cock me back.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
The God's iller. My fighting stance too strategic.
Sun Tzu said, "In general, the strategy for employing the military is this. If there are 1,000 four-horse attack chariots, 1,000 leather-armored support chariots, 100,000 mailed troops, and provisions are transported 1,000 li, then the domestic and external campaign expenses, the expenditures for advisors and guests, materials such as glue and lacquer, and providing chariots and armor will be 1,000 pieces of gold per day. Only then can an army of 100,000 be mobilized. When employing them in battle, a victory that is long in coming will blunt their weapons and dampen their ardor. If you attack cities, their strength will be exhausted. If you expose the army to a prolonged campaign, the state's resources will be inadequate. When the weapons have grown dull and spirits depressed, when our strength has been expended and resources consumed, then the feudal lords will take advantage of our exhaustion to arise. Even though you have wise generals, they will not be able to achieve a good result. Planning offenses.
I strategize my attack to kill off your back while you await at the gate, my men are around the back. Destroy your mental and your sacred temple. Bucking shots to your face, bound to leave a dimple. Guard body in the space, plus you move real nimble. With the force of a meteorite, I blind your sight. Turn days to night and excel at the heights. The spark from the cannon provide the only lights. Rip out and run fast from the blast of the shotgun. Your team get done, I bring the heat like the sun. The war drum bang, and we move like a bird do. See things from a bird's view, kill off your crew. One at a time, I reveal my strategy. Take cover, the shells will form a canopy.
Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security.
Thirst lurks in the hearts of men, my words blend. I form strategy by the use words to the pen, I write the vision, make it plain, strategize and attack. Front doors is how we exit, but we enter from back. Left flanks off of tanks, but the right is for the aerial. Most armies move mono, but we move in stereo. My wisdom disrupts your system until you're stressed. Have you pacing the floor, unable to rest. Can't eat, can't sleep, so you're forced to retreat. A face of death, each breath is a task. And your team won't last, and you're pressured by the guard. And now your slow death becomes fast. So we blast your provisions and move with force. Make the incisions and then cut off your resource. Expose your weakness until you're left alone, and then take the seat on your throne.
Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security. Brothers respect mine, I ain't gonna tech now. My camaraderie move like tight security.
Sun Tzu said, in general, the method for employing the military is this. Preserving the enemy's state capital is best. Destroying their state capital second best. Preserving their army is best. Destroying their army second best. Preserving their battalions is best. Destroying their battalions second best. Preserving their companies is best. Destroying their companies second best. Preserving their squads is best. Destroying their squads second best. For this reason, attaining 100 victories in 100 battles is not the pinnacle of excellence. Subjugating the enemy's army without fighting is the true pinnacle of excellence. Military disposition.
Every move is calculated, the guard is educated. Everybody has a plan until their space is invaded. Verbally air-raided, I drop bombs like Saigon. To the streets to Vietnam, Samsun the Shogun. The fire from the sun melts men with the heat. Abstract in my thoughts, leave them forced to retreat. My code D's lead the earth 100 degrees. 7 times at the core with the sting of killer bees. Swinging swords like Achilles, hold the line like Myrmidons. Attack from the heights, never fear, never run. Son, the wise general, the mind is a mineral. Samsun the Shogun, break atoms like a chemical. Who dare test? Buckle your Kevlar, tighten your vest. Dog men, never no fear nor stress.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
Fall from the sky, no lie when dog men attack. Dudes rant, make you sweat as your team relapse. In fact, we subtract men executing the tactical. All face tear, my team move radical. First team, second team, move on the lateral. I got your backs intact, dressed in black, no need to kill. With skill we kidnap, my team don't lack. We keep them tucked, no contact. We march like a million men, follow my lead. We going in, never scared. Shall we proceed? Catch the mind where I prepare for combat. Tears of fear, unable to strike back. Bloodshed, a hole in your head is a failure. I'd rather leave you waiting in fear, that sheer torture. When your men know the vision is clear, they support you. When your men know the vision is clear, they support you.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
King me, checkmate, punch like the Michael chip.
Uplift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
Sun Tzu said, in antiquity, those that excelled in warfare first made themselves unconquerable in order to await the moment when the enemy could be conquered. Being unconquerable lies with yourself. Being conquerable lies with the enemy. Thus, one who excels in warfare is able to make himself unconquerable, but cannot necessarily cause the enemy to be conquerable. Thus, it is said, a strategy for conquering the enemy can be known, but yet not possible to implement. One who cannot be victorious assumes a defensive posture. One who can be victorious attacks. In these circumstances, by assuming a defensive posture, strength will be more than adequate, whereas in offensive actions, it would be inadequate. Strategic military power.
The army move militant, watch when I represent. My team mind connects, crush the irrelevant. Powerful impact, attack me a skull crack. I keep the clocks clocked down by my ball sack. The bang of the force, but the drum rips eternally. And tiger ciphers on fire from my energy. Rough ground, low ground, anytime it can go down. War is a showdown, urban soil or uptown. My land, your land, respect my game plan. Fight for the rights, get it cracking on your sand. I proceed with the speed to make your eardrums bleed. Drop your body in the trough for the pigs to feed. Elevate my seats with the thoughts I read. Formation of a nation all prepared to lead.
Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm. Summer jet black ninja, coming where you rest at. Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm.
Combinations damaging nations and the mental.
Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm. Summer jet black ninja, coming where you rest at. Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm.
Combinations damaging nations and the mental.
Hold the lie, don't waste time. God cipher divine. No wins to your team if they go against mine. I meet your energy head on and get you the same. Conquer on any level till you remember my name. Physical energy I met with excessive force. Mental energy I expand my thoughts. Spiritual energy I tap into the source. See wars are off the laws and the cancer no morale. I shut down your team and leave them dead to pow. My style is always mental like a game of chess. I kill a whole army before they stop my progress. To master energies, a general's greatest success. I capture the winds from the north, south, east, and west. I test your chest, threat level of your vest. Speed, force, endurance is how I abide. I was raised to conquer, not just to survive.
Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm. Summer jet black ninja, coming where you rest at. Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm.
Combinations damaging nations and the mental.
Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm. Summer jet black ninja, coming where you rest at. Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm.
Combinations damaging nations and the mental.
Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm. Summer jet black ninja, coming where you rest at. Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm.
Combinations damaging nations and the mental.
Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm. Summer jet black ninja, coming where you rest at. Wu-Tang killer hubbies on the swarm.
Combinations damaging nations and the mental.
Sun Tzu said, in general, commanding a large number is like commanding a few. It is a question of dividing up the numbers. Fighting with a large number is like fighting with a few. It is a question of configuration and designation. What enabled the masses of the three armies invariably to withstand the enemy without being defeated are the unorthodox and the orthodox. If wherever the army attacks, it is like a whetstone thrown against an egg, it is due to the vacuous and substantial. In general, in battle one engages with the orthodox and gains victory through the unorthodox. Thus, one who excels at sending forth the unorthodox is as inexhaustible as heaven, as unlimited as the Yangtze and Yellow rivers. What reach an end and begin again are the sun and moon. What die and are reborn are the four seasons. The notes do not exceed 5, but the changes of the 5 notes can never be fully heard. The colors do not exceed 5, but the changes of the 5 colors can never be completely seen. The flavors do not exceed 5, but the changes of the 5 flavors can never be completely tasted. Knows the field of battle and knows the day of battle.
My weakness is meekness, I still shall inherit the earth. I blast off like a shotgun burst. It's the physical, mental, and spiritual. Cock back the 40 for the calico was up and at your door. The 3/4 chord is the movement. My team who congruent. We expose strength and go to limp. 2 shots leave your team been unable to vent. Get smashed like a crash, left with more than a men dip. Follow my lead. Plus women and seeds. As I dwell amongst the stars, every word they heed. No need to proceed with the wicked man's plans. The army moves precise through the water and sand. As I band like a fence when the trauma's intense. Back 'em down for the crown, no weak links in the fence.
Kick the truth to the young black youth. High-ranked officials and all tanks with missiles. Kick the truth to the young black youth.
Swift with the gifts in the God body squad. It's
Kick the truth to the young black youth. High-ranked officials and all tanks with missiles. Kick the truth to the young black youth.
swift with the gifts in the God body squad.
My mind is sharp as a dart with the heart of a horse. I impact the war beyond your force. My thoughts get deep like in the course. I'm the source of light with the grace of a Porsche. My strong points build to conceal the weak. My military mind propels while you sleep. I got vision, my religion is thought and strategy. I manifest like a game of chess within my chi. My weak points are often shows but not exposed. I treat battlefields like garments of clothes. I rose from the sands to expand my hands. No fear of death, my life take flights in the plans. The circumstance of war abhors the bad blood. Beyond war, generals can abide in love. Peace, admiration, fear, and respect. And loss of general needs time to reflect.
Kick the truth to the young black youth. High-ranked officials and all tanks with missiles. Kick the truth to the young black youth.
Swift with the gifts in the God body squad. It's
Kick the truth to the young black youth. High-ranked officials and all tanks with missiles. Kick the truth to the young black youth.
swift with the gifts in the God body squad. It's
Kick the truth to the young black youth. High-ranked officials and all tanks with missiles. Kick the truth to the young black youth.
swift with the gifts in the God body squad. It's
Kick the truth to the young black youth. High-ranked officials and all tanks with missiles. Kick the truth to the young black youth.
swift with the gifts in the God body squad. It's
Victory can be achieved. Even though the enemy is more numerous, they can be forced not to fight. Thus, critically analyze them to know the estimations for gain and loss. Stimulate them to know the patterns of their movement and stopping. Determine their disposition of force, Xing, to know the tenable and fatal terrain. Probe them to know where they have an excess, where an insufficiency. Thus, the pinnacle of military deployment approaches the formless. If it is formless, then even the deepest spy cannot discern it, or the wise make plans against it. Military combat.
My soldiers are accustomed to strength and energy. Triumphant warriors excel in God degree. We move as a source and contact pure force with the speed of a cheetah. No fear like a horse. No shame in the game as we approach the flame. Million man, one mind, make us one and the same. Like a tank, we keep rank, protecting the flank. This is war, hardcore. We mobilize in the bank. That's the army maneuver. German Lugers to Rugers. Building means the guards stay down and down with the ruler. Say hey now, my doubt, strictly military. Cock back, squeeze that when necessary. Pop that trigger back, bust off a cherry. Wu-Tang slang is my vocabulary. Say Wu-Tang slang is my vocabulary. Like
my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for?
as a soldier, you reflect on life and death, your last breath, execution of military steps, while the general concept on war and its cause, not the soul of a soldier when the father is lost. War is a series of battles that take place, each terrain, situation, all specific to space, and time, terrain, and situation understood by nine. So when the armies move, consider your strategy. Sometimes move slow, sometimes move rapidly, sometimes ambush, sometimes improvise, sometimes step out of water so you look larger inside. Keep rank, guard your flank. I move like a tank, back to back, whether you're sword or shank. The objective is to produce fear and intimidate. War has many faces, some other than hate. Warfare, the greatest affair of state.
My time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I put these soldiers for? When it's my go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I brought these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I brought these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I brought these soldiers for? When it's my time to go for sure. Your nigga goes to war. What you think I brought these soldiers for? When it's
Sun Tzu said, in general, the strategy for employing the army is this. From the time the general receives his commands from the ruler, unites the armies, and assembles the masses to confronting the enemy and encamping, there is nothing more difficult than military combat. In military combat, what is most difficult is turning the circuitous into the straight, turning adversity into advantage. Thus, if you make the enemy's path circuitous and entice them with profit, although you set out after them, you will arrive before them. This results from knowing the tactics of the circuitous and the direct. 9 changes.
Yeah. Many ways to skin a cat, but you gotta fight back. War was lost before the fight, and that's that. The mind aligns with the divine level 9. The heart consigns, and the soldier's sword shine. And the deaf, dumb, and blind get lost in the pines, smothered and choked out by the vines. Universal signs give direction to protect. Each military faction has a purpose to dissect. Break it down like a decibel, strengthen like vegetable. 9 changes, 9 stages, take place on 9 levels. Samsun the rebel, I'm prepared for war. I do battle with a million men with 50 or more. I tread where them others won't go. Throw a blow, do battle on the land, whether sand or snow.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
When war is declared, no need to run scared. Gather your troops and supplies and come prepared. Form your allies and devise an approach. Understand your ground where war is invoked. Seize that moment of time, draw the line where the troops can combine and design strategy to limit casualties, expand gradually, progress naturally. Build you a fortress in quest, a safe place for space where resources can be distributed to your team in haste. Erase low morale, inspire your men, give them gifts, uplift, let them know they can win. Blend with your team, let them see you unite. Enough respect for a general not scared to fight. As you move throughout subject terrain, remain tight. As you move throughout subject terrain, remain tight.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Make a devil's tower to the Caucasus Mountain.
The God's iller. Plant a bomb in your ear, then disappear.
Sun Tzu said, in general, the strategy for employing the military is this. After the general has received his commands from the ruler, united the armies, and assembled the masses, do not encamp on entrapping terrain. Unite with your allies on focal terrain. Do not remain on isolated terrain. Make strategic plans for encircled terrain. On fatal terrain, you must do battle. There are roads that are not followed. There are armies that are not attacked. There are fortified cities that are not assaulted. There is terrain for which one does not contend. There are commands from the ruler that are not accepted. Thus, the general who has a penetrating understanding of the advantages of the 9 changes knows how to employ the army. If a general does not have a penetrating understanding of the advantages of the 9 changes, even though he is familiar with the topography, he will not be able to realize the advantages. Maneuvering the army.
With every provision, the mission is an underground mole. Me and my team unified, we pull it all smooth. Without an attitude, everything's all good. Get hit the track going straight from the woods of the hood. We ready to rock, set up shop, camp out on your lawn. My soldiers march at midnight, post at dawn. Word bomb, my team strong, we gotta get a move on in unison. We don't break rank like a tank. Catch a general slipping in, he gets shanked. The percussion of our cadence so right and exact. That's left, right, left as we keep intact. We track the hillside to the valley low. For war we hardcore and prepared to go. Whether sand or mud or a foot of snow.
Soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get
Black
done.
boots, they stomp. Keep pace, soldiers we link. Military minds about to go to the brink. We move as 3 packs from front to back. A million men marching in 3 pairs of tracks. No man lacks endurance or falls to fatigue. My team are in shape like cats in the league. Our movement perpetual like years to a clock. We move and keep time whenever we walk. We spark from the hills when we cross these streets. Heads up, standing shoulder to shoulder, looking elite. We speak tone unique, posting our heights. We move by the drums and fiery lights. When we are too far to speak in the darkness at night, blinded by the sun, we march by sight. Indeed we proceed, but we soldier by will. When the army's on the march, we're prepared to build.
Soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done. My soldiers got dropped in war. I have you on the floor with your armor loose. Punks don't get turns, they get done.
Sun Tzu said, "As for deploying the army and fathoming the enemy, to cross mountains, follow the valleys, search out tenable ground, and occupy the heights. If the enemy holds the heights, do not climb up to engage them in battle. This is the way to deploy an army in the mountains. After crossing rivers, you must distance yourself from them. If the enemy is fording a river to advance, do not confront them in the water. When half their forces have crossed, it will be advantageous to strike them. If you want to engage the enemy in battle, do not array your forces near the river to confront the invader, but look for tenable ground and occupy the heights." Configurations of terrain.
Keep this understood. I'm always down for the war. No matter the condition, I bring it straight to your door. I fight from the highest heights and most rugged terrain. I have a heart of a lion, how shall I explain? If I can make it in, I'm gonna make it out alive. Strategy of a soldier is the will to survive. A coward dies 1,000 dies, I got 9 lives. I'm always prepared for combat down the ride. I explain, knowing terrain is a warrior's claim. A general must know the battlefield and its plain. The hills and the lows and how to encamp. And how to proceed through the trees, and if the marshes are damp, see in, see out, see your enemy. As you move through terrain, keep your energy.
Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many live.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many live.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many live.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many lives.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Ground under my feet, I'm free to wage war and death. Breathe my breath, where I lay I rest. Never at all stress. When I'm out in the field, I destroy like the Minotaur, I'm prepared to build. God has willed me to understand terrain. I position on the ground and I bring the pain. So I never ever war where I lay. I do battle where they are, no means escape from prey. Never on wetland, never a field of sand, or other means of soil unless your plans to expand. Field conditions, so I'm never trapped. And if you overstand terrain, you won't react. The battlefield is a rush, and plus your team you trust. Without them you're crushed. Some terrain is tough, ain't high enough for your enemies to hide. So watch your sabotage and keep the tools on your side.
Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many live.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Manifest. Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many live.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Manifest. Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many live.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Manifest. Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many lives.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many lives.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Manifest. Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many lives.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Manifest. Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many lives.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Manifest. Front on my guys, my enterprise slash many lives.
One nut out the clan, get your whole clique banned.
Sun Tzu said, the major configurations of terrain are accessible, suspended, stalemated, constricted, precipitous, and expansive. If we can go forth and the enemy can also advance, it is termed accessible. In an accessible configuration, first occupy the heights and yang side and improve the routes for transporting provisions. Then when we engage in battle, it will be advantageous. If we can go forth but it will be difficult to return, it is termed suspended. In a suspended configuration, if they are unprepared, go forth and conquer them. If the enemy is prepared and we sally forth without being victorious, it will be difficult to turn back and is not advantageous. If it is not advantageous for us to go forth, nor advantageous for the enemy to come forward, it is termed stalemated. In a stalemated configuration, even though the enemy tries to entice us with profit, we do not go forth. Withdraw our forces and depart. If we strike them when half the enemy has come forth, it will be advantageous. As for constricted configurations, if we occupy them first, we must fully deploy throughout them in order to await the enemy. If the enemy occupies them first and fully deploys in them, do not follow them in. If they do not fully deploy in them, then follow them in. As for precipitous configurations, if we occupy them, we must hold the heights and yang sides to await the enemy. If the enemy occupies them first, withdraw our forces and depart. Do not follow them. As for expansive configurations, if our strategic power is equal, it will be difficult to provoke them to combat. Engaging in combat will not be advantageous. Now these 6 are the Tao of terrain. 9 terrains.
With every encounter of war I adapt. Check for rain and terrain and attack. No slack, no retract. I bring pressure and heat. No retreat, no surrender till you eternally sleep. I keep knowledge of your zodiac and cycle of sun. Peep your lunar lodges while I'm tuning my drum. I come where you don't expect. Let the war connect. If the violence needs silence, I use the tool, not a tech. Respect the ways of the general, I'm the last of the breed. And if you ducking when I'm bucking, then I stifle your seed. I will make you react, form a counter-attack. Relapse in your thoughts, combat, retract. In fact, I'm where you at till you surrender and rest. Put your team under pressure, it's life or death.
Wutang. Wutang.
Sound the alarm.
First of all, we ain't no saints, and we lay in the trenches, rock the war paints.
Wutang. Wutang.
Sound the alarm.
First of all, we ain't no saints, and we lay in the trenches, rock the war paints.
I'm a soldier till I die, I'm pressed with tough talk. I dwell in enemy soil when I'm down a spark. I hawk with a bird's eye view, highest the heights. I watch the enemy lines, keep them locked in my sights. I fight for the cause, and if it opposes yours, I be at your door, prepare for war. I stomp in my big black boots, I keep it militant. Hannibal or Carthage cross the Alps on an elephant. Benevolent strategy, wartime mastery. Rain on any terrain, quick to cause a catastrophe. Move dastardly in a single file mind. Dressed in all black, no shimmer, no shine. No time for tough talk, I dwell in the sky. As high as the eagle does, soar till I die. If you cross my military, then your team live block. If you cross my military, then your team live block.
Wutang. Wutang.
Sound the alarm.
First of all, we ain't no saints, and we lay in the trenches, rock the war paints.
Wutang. Wutang.
Sound the alarm.
First
rock the war paint.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
Sound the alarm.
First of all, no, we ain't no saints, and we lay in the trenches, rock the war paint.
Sun Tzu said, "The strategy for employing the military is this. There is dispersive terrain, light terrain, contentious terrain, traversable terrain, focal terrain, heavy terrain, entrapping terrain, encircled terrain, and fatal terrain." When the feudal lords fight in their own territory, it is dispersive terrain. When they enter someone else's territory, but not deeply, it is light terrain. If, when we occupy it, it will be advantageous to us, while if they occupy it, it will be advantageous to them, it is contentious terrain. When we can go and they can also come, it is traversable terrain. Land of the feudal lords, surrounded on three sides such that whoever arrives first will gain the masses of all under heaven, is focal terrain. When one penetrates deeply into enemy territory, bypassing numerous cities, it is heavy terrain. Where there are mountains and forests, ravines and defiles, wetlands and marshes, wherever the road is difficult to negotiate, it is entrapping terrain. Where the entrance is constricted, the return is circuitous, and with a small number that can strike our masses, it is encircled terrain. Where if one fights with intensity, he will survive, but if he does not fight with intensity, he will perish, it is fatal terrain. For this reason, on dispersive terrain, do not engage the enemy. On light terrain, do not stop. On contentious terrain, do not attack. On traversable terrain, do not allow your forces to become isolated. On focal terrain, unite and form alliances with nearby feudal lords. On heavy terrain, plunder for provisions. On entrapping terrain, move through quickly. On encircled terrain, use strategy. On fatal terrain, engage in battle. Incendiary attacks.
I attack your source with force, kill off your head. Any cat supplying gats is gonna end up dead. I move without an attitude, got nothing to prove. I separate your provisions, I refuse to lose. I burn your camp out, lamp out, and you know where to turn. And if your mom provides sanctions, then her house get burned. I don't play, the war code's in my DNA. I bring drama where you rest at and where you stay. Tiki torch your porch and burn out your perimeter. Go deep in your bowels, just like an enema. Smoke out your hole till your whole team's exposed. Anyone in alliance can serve the black rose. Fiery darts to the hearts of wicked men. I incinerate your camp with the use of my pen.
Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and fire's a flame. Warriors wage war cause they desire the fame. Kings land expand so that they can reign. But generals strategize so they can prefix their name. Stay in your lane, I make your whole block smoke. I reduce your world to flames once I get provoked. Men choke, no hope, will they ever excel? Fire is a cleanser and enhancer of smell. We expose and limit and box and subtract. And with every advance you're forced to retract. No supplies, no camp, and you can't fight back. The objective is to suppress and reduce your progress. Stifle your borders north, south, east, and west. I digress, you'll soon find fire a test. Tried by the fire is the strategy I impress. Disrespect my team, God bless.
Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd down. Blazing the stuff that ignites the plan a bomb. Capacity of tragedy, hold the crowd crowd down.
Blaze it, the stuff that ignites.
Plant a bomb. Capacity of tragedy. Hold the crowd down.
Blaze it, the stuff that ignites.
Plant a bomb. Capacity of tragedy. Hold the crowd down.
Sun Tzu said, there are 5 types of incendiary attack. The first is to incinerate men. The second, to incinerate provisions. The third, to incinerate supply trains. The fourth, to incinerate armories. And the fifth, to incinerate formations. Implementing an incendiary attack depends on the proper conditions. Equipment for incendiary attack should be fully prepared before required. Launching an incendiary attack has its appropriate seasons, igniting the fire the proper days. As for the seasons, it is the time of the dry spell. As for the day, when the moon is in G, B, E, or Jun. When it is in these 4 lunar lodges, these are days the wind will arise. In general, in incendiary warfare, you must respond to the 5 changes of fire. If fires are started within their camp, then you should immediately respond with an attack from outside. If fires are ignited but their army remains quiet, then wait. Do not attack. When they flare into a conflagration, if you can follow up, then do so. If you cannot, then desist. If the attack can be launched from outside without relying on inside assistance, initiate it at an appropriate time. If fires are ignited upwind, do not attack downwind. Employing spies.
I share my plans with your friends, I hope the truth is exposed. I obtain vast knowledge about wherever you go. I know what you possess, secret ways to your rest. The weapons you invest in if your mental is stressed. I test people daily to see who I could trust. Cause when it's about war, loyalty is a must. No rush, I meditate like the strings of a heart. I watch close, peep Judas, and if my team is sharp, the utilization of spies can bring light to the dark. I align with spies to know the nature of the threat. Devils can't press up or mess up the scene I set. I vet my frustrations, never to show no sweat. Penetrate your gate to leave you bloody and wet. Someone's always watching, don't you ever forget.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
How do I win at war? I show and prove. I gain advanced knowledge to assure you lose. I choose your steps, I anticipate your move. I force you in the corner so you gotta react. Keep you on your heels, running back, you can't relax. I attack your team with glimmery things and a chance to advance amongst soldiers and kings. I sing love songs to the women you court and support, so at night they find themselves revealing your thoughts of how you move and where you stay and what's your plan. You're feeling about war and your right-hand man. Then I publicize the lies of those you advise. Now they can see your actions and bring forth your demise. I'm wise to test. War is just like a game of chess. So while you sleep at night, I encamp where you rest.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
I screen every vehicle from enemy observation.
Locusts surround the opposer.
Sun Tzu said, there are 5 types of spies to be employed. Local spy, internal spy, turned spy, double agent, dead, expendable spy, and the living spy. When all 5 are employed together and no one knows their Tao, this is termed spiritual methodology. They are a ruler's treasures. Local spies. Employ people from the local district. Internal spies. employ their people who hold government positions. Double agents employ the enemy's spies. Expendable spies are employed to spread disinformation outside the state. Provide our expendable spies with false information and have them leak it to enemy agents. Living spies return with their reports. Thus, of all the three armies' affairs, no relationship is closer than with spies. No rewards are more generous than those given to spies. No affairs are more secret than those pertaining.